In this week's space startup news, Honda hitches a ride on Dream Chaser. Second, Astroscale to refuel a Space Force vehicle. Third, Lunar Outpost unveils sleek new lunar rover photos. And lastly, Latitude completes hot fire test of a flight-ready engine. Okay, let's get started. Honda will hitch a ride on Dream Chaser to the ISS. Honda will send its hydrogen fuel cell system to the International Space Station on board Sierra Space's Dream Chaser spacecraft. While no specific date is set for the mission, Dream Chaser's first ISS flight could launch as early as May 2025. Sierra Space has secured contracts for 7 ISS missions. Honda has spent decades developing this fuel cell system as part of a renewable energy solution for future lunar missions. By combining hydrogen and oxygen, the system generates electricity to power lunar bases, charge rovers, and run equipment. Solar energy splits water back into hydrogen and oxygen, creating a sustainable sun-powered energy cycle. Astronauts can supply water or harvest it from lunar ice. Beyond electricity, the system produces oxygen, reducing the need for life support systems to replenish it. Honda will test the fuel cell in microgravity on the ISS to confirm its performance in space. The company chose Dream Chaser for its smooth ride due to the lifting body design similar to the Space Shuttle that keeps G-forces below 1.5 G. That makes it ideal for delicate equipment and life science experiments. Next, we move on to another exciting space story this week. Astroscale US to pioneer first ever refueling mission for US Space Force. Astroscale US, the American branch of a Japanese space startup specializing in in-orbit servicing, debris removal, and satellite life extension, has secured a groundbreaking contract with the US Space Force. The company will refuel a Tetra 5 satellite, marking a big step forward in improving space mobility. Getting into space is one thing, moving around in space is another. The US Space Force is focused on being able to move more freely in space, which requires being able to refuel their orbital assets when needed. This mission will take place in geosynchronous orbit, a high-energy orbit hosting critical US assets like GPS satellites. By partnering with commercial space companies like Astroscale, the Space Force seeks to lower operational costs and expand in-space operation capabilities. Set for summer 2026, the mission will feature Astroscale's APS-R spacecraft, a 300-kilo refueler carrying 66 pounds of hydrazine fuel in a refillable tank. The APS-R will perform the first ever hydrazine refueling operation in geosynchronous orbit and the first to support a Department of Defense asset. During 2 planned operations, it will transfer fuel to the Tetra 5 satellite, demonstrating a complete refueling ecosystem involving a client, servicer, and depot in space. After completing the Tetra 5 refueling, the APS-R will rendezvous with Orbit Fab's fuel depot, also launching in 2026, to replenish its hydrazine supply. It will then proceed to refuel a second Department of Defense satellite, further proving the viability of in-orbit refueling. Ron Lopez, president of Astroscale US, said, "We're changing the reality of what's possible. This mission proves that in-space logistics does not have to be years away. We're a focused team with one goal: deliver and operate an operational prototype spacecraft for the Space Force." The Astroscale US refueler is proof that commercial space companies can deliver and develop new operational capabilities on time and on budget, unquote. Ian Thomas, Astroscale US refueler program manager, said, "We're not just enabling a refueling mission, we're laying the groundwork for scalable, flexible logistics across space. This is infrastructure that expands options for the warfighter and demonstrates what rapid innovation looks like in action," unquote. Astroscale US is using Orbit Fab's refueling interfaces, which we've reported on previously on this channel. Orbit Fab is just one of a growing number of space startups that are working on in-orbit operations such as refueling and life extension missions. Refueling technology will also boost the capabilities of space tugs in development by companies like Impulse Space and Quantum Space. These innovations signal the dawn of a thrilling era for in-space operations, laying the foundations for an ecosystem of space tugs, refueling missions, and eventually orbiting propellant stations. This infrastructure promises to make maneuvering in space as seamless as travelling on Earth. Our next segment is about a lunar rover, familiar to those who caught our Moonracer video earlier this week. Lunar Outpost unveils sleek new Eagle Moon rover. Lunar Outpost, a Colorado-based space startup, builds lunar rovers. Its largest rover, dubbed Eagle, is competing to win a NASA contract for use in Artemis missions. It's a lunar rover that can carry 2 fully suited astronauts. New photos of the vehicle have been posted on social media. Visitors to the Space Foundation's 40th Annual Space Symposium can see the vehicle for themselves. It's a sleek, futuristic look along with blue LED lighting. AJ Gernert from Lunar Outpost said in an interview with Space.com, "We're developing all of our crew and human interfaces through a lot of testing with NASA Johnson. We've had 8 astronauts, even in fully pressurized suits, evaluate the design, and their feedback is throughout the vehicle." Unquote. One feature the astronauts enjoyed was the accessible front entry area, which makes it easy to enter and exit the rover, even when wearing a bulky spacesuit. The rover has crewed and uncrewed configurations. In the photos you can see the rover in its crewed configuration, with room for 2 astronauts at a time. The rover can be operated from either seat with mirrored controls. Each wheel can turn independently of the others, allowing for off-axis or crab walk movement, said Gernert. The rover has 2 lockers and refrigerated sample containers to help store scientific equipment and samples. The 2 locker is at the astronaut's chest height, making it easy to access and store items. If needed, extra tool racks and storage can be added along the sides and rear of the vehicle. The rover can be operated remotely, allowing for autonomous driving like the rovers NASA operates on Mars. Check out my video on Moonracer, a competitor to Lunar Eagle rover. Okay, on to our final space startup item this week. Latitude successfully tests flight-ready rocket engine combustion chamber. Latitude, a French space startup founded in 2019, is developing a small satellite launcher called Zephyr. The company recently achieved a major milestone by conducting the first hot-fire test of a flight-ready combustion chamber for its Navier rocket engine. This engine powers the Zephyr rocket, designed to carry 100 kilos or 220 pounds into orbit. The test took place at Latitude's new testing facility in Vatry, France, where engineers fired the combustion chamber for 10 seconds. The data collected will guide the team in planning longer duration tests to ensure the engine can sustain the full mission duty cycle required for flight. Latitude aims to qualify the Navier engine in the coming months through a fully integrated test, bringing the company closer to its first launch targeted for 2026. Latitude's newly appointed CEO emphasized the company's practical approach. Latitude has chosen to base Zephyr's propulsion system on so-called simple technologies that have been well proven in the space industry for decades, notably the LOX RP-1 propellant combination. The goal is to quickly offer small satellite operators a functional and cost-effective dedicated launch solution by leveraging existing and robust propulsion technologies. Unquote. The 2-stage Zephyr rocket features 7 Navier engines on its first stage and a vacuum-optimized Navier engine on its second stage. Following the initial 100 kilo capacity launch, Latitude plans to develop an upgraded variant capable of carrying 200 kilos into orbit. With the European Launcher Challenge underway, Latitude is well positioned to compete for European Space Agency grants, potentially worth up to €169 million. To secure funding, the company must launch by the end of 2027 and demonstrate an upgraded rocket, a goal Latitude is on track to achieve. Exciting times in the European launch sector, with ISAR Aerospace's first launch attempt behind us, and a number of other ambitious space startups all racing to be the first to reach orbit from Europe. Good luck to them all, and we will keep you updated on their progress right here. Okay, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Space News Live is on Saturday evening or Sunday morning, depending where you watch from. I recap the videos I posted this week, answer questions, respond to comments and chat messages, cover any missed news, and preview upcoming content. I'd love for you to join if you can. Be sure to like and subscribe so you'll see our upcoming videos. We make videos every week covering the space industry with an emphasis on the smaller space startups that aren't covered so well on other channels. See you soon.